Hey everybody, how are you doing? Oh, today's kind of a different video. I'm going to be doing an unboxing. Since I traveled and came from Kenya back to the UK, it's like I'm starting my life all over again. And these are things that people don't really tell you when you're moving, that you spend so much money for nothing. Like some of the things I'm buying again are things like blow dryers, things that I've had all my life. You know, you find yourself having to buy another spice rack, another knife, another phone. Yeah, people don't tell you about the cost of moving. Moving is expensive, super expensive, guys. And today we're going to be unboxing this. It's been a long time since I did an unboxing video. Now, hey, some of the things I've learned. This is Amazon. It's a package, which basically includes most likely my hair dryer, I'm hoping, yeah, and some combs. As you can see, I undid my hair. And now, I'm all by myself. I have to do this by myself. Boy, don't I miss my hairdressers in Kenya. But it's okay. I have to relearn now how to look after myself. Yeah? Not an easy thing. But now, guys, you know what? One of the things I realized is that Amazon is so expensive. Why? Because of the tariffs and the way that they have impacted on our purchasing ability and the cost of goods and services. As of today, which is quite interesting, I noted that the courts in the US X'd all of Trump's tariffs effectively, immediately, guys. And you know why? Because companies such as this one, Amazon, okay, are not going to be able to sell anything online. They won't. Like, I went on Amazon to try to buy stuff and things are just overpriced. You find that when you compare what is on the Amazon website and then you go to other websites like Alibaba, Express, or you go to Temu, which are Chinese, you'll find a huge difference, a significant difference in price just because of the origin country and the fact that they've imposed all these tariffs. So it's amazing. I'm not surprised that they actually had to get rid of these tariffs because this is going to just blow the American economy.
Tonight, a three-judge panel in New York has effectively balked almost all of Trump's disastrous tariffs. Trump's tariffs against Mexico and Canada, his tariffs against the EU, against China, his tariffs against uninhabited islands with nothing but penguins and snow. They are all blocked by this federal court decision. It comes out of the United States Court of International Trade, which is a specialized court you may or may not have ever heard of, but it deals specifically with trade issues. A three-judge panel consisting of one Reagan appointee, one Obama appointee, and crucially and importantly, one Trump appointee, ruled unanimously that Trump's trade war is essentially illegal, that he does not have the authority to enact these sweeping tariffs on his own. When Trump signed the executive order enacting these tariffs, he cited something called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, a law that gives the president the authority to use tariffs in times of national emergency. And in their ruling tonight, the judges write, quote, "The question is whether the International Emergency Economic Powers Act delegates these powers to the president in the form of authority to impose unlimited tariffs on goods from nearly every country in the world. The court does not read the law to confer such unbounded authority and sets aside the challenged tariffs imposed thereunder. The law does not grant tariff authority to the president simply when he finds or determines that an unusual and extraordinary threat exists."
So before I get into it, welcome to the show again. And today's a different kind of show. Like I said, today we're going to be doing an unboxing show. Let's unbox it together. Always exciting, Who doesn't like shopping? Most of us love shopping, so let's unbox together. Yeah, so how have you guys been doing? Let's see what's in here. Yay, my blow dryer. Yes, that is my hair dryer. I actually have one in Nairobi, but I decided let me just buy another one because it's me and my daughter. We're going to now start learning how to do hair. And some combs, okay? Yeah, although I think this one also comes with the combs. It comes with the combs and two extension cups. Yeah, guys, so this blow dryer is called WAHL. And it's basically, they say one size fits all, secure fit, heat resistance, whatever. But anyway, what's important to look at is the power. I wanted to know how powerful it was. It is 2,000 watts, I believe it is. 2,000 watts. I wanted to get one which was 2,500 because of our African hair. Because I thought, it was powerful. But right now, when you're looking at the budget, you have to be careful. Blow dryers can be very expensive. And I'm not a professional, so. Okay. So So here it is. WAHL, that's it here. With the extendables, little one, a bigger one. For those ladies who like to see this kind of thing. And then it comes actually with a comb as well, I believe. Yeah, it comes with a comb. But funny enough, I actually ordered these combs also separately, just because you know these things, they tend to burn sometimes, and then if they're burnt, they can actually spoil your hair. Oh, this is really nice, very lovely fit. It has a rubber thing around it, so it's got a nice fit, it's got a snug fit. I believe this is gonna work really well for my hair. So now I can go wash my hair, blow dry it, and start preparing my hairstyles again. Yeah. The main reason I'm talking to you today, guys, is not just for unboxing. And you'll see my new hairstyle in my new video, okay? I'm not gonna do my hair right now because I probably might need some help from my daughter doing it. Yeah. So basically, guys, the reason why I decided to do this video is to talk about. So this thing, by the way, guys, it cost me 27 pounds. Right now, by Kenya shilling conversion, 1 pound is 170 shillings. That means Kenyan money is devaluing, and I don't know why. It wasn't like that. About a year ago, I think that the highest I've seen the pound is about 145 or 100, actually 150. It's 170 to the pound, guys. So if you're earning pounds, things are going to be cheaper for you back in Kenya. But if you're earning shillings and you want to import things from the UK, things are going to be expensive. Very, very expensive. And yet, I want to start selling you things from the UK. How are we going to do this? Can you explain? If you see the prices and you're interested and you're not living in the UK, please just go ahead and buy anyway, because understand that it's because the exchange rate is high, but you'll get good quality products. And one thing I do like, yes, I like the way it's packaged. And where is this thing made? Made in PRC. Where the heck is that? PRC? Oh, it's made in the USA. Wow. It says World Headquarters, P.O. Box, Sterling, Illinois, USA. Really? That's quite interesting. Okay. I guess this is a USA product. This is a US product, believe it or not. Whatever. As long as it works, yeah? As long as it works.
We have some breaking news right now. Amazon has begun canceling orders from China and other Asian countries, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of purchase orders. This is in response to Donald Trump's tariffs, which means prices will go up.
So the White House must scare the shit out of Jeff Bezos, because Jeff Bezos says he's no longer showing us the price of the tariffs on each item on the website anymore. This morning, the Amazon company stated they were going to put the cost of the tariffs on their website next to their prices so people could see how the prices are being impacted by the tariffs. Well, I guess the White House decided they were going to go ahead and give Jeff a call, and now he's not doing that. On top of that, UPS has just stated that they are laying off 20,000 workers due to a decrease in Amazon packages. So not only are we going to be in the dark about how much these tariffs are impacting the price of our goods, it's looking like people are going to be losing their jobs left and right.
So guys, this week I learned a few things about why it's important for us to appreciate our own hair, our natural hair. This is my natural hair. It's quite long, and okay, well, for an African, it's not short. It's not considered short. Okay, it's at least about shoulder length. This is my natural hair. What I had on was actually a weave, and I had many different weaves before that. But I really love weaves, and I also love, just doing my hair in many different formats and different styles. But I saw a TikTok video where there was a mother professor who was explaining to her daughter that our African hair is curly because it's our natural defense mechanism against UV light, as Black people. So we should appreciate, we shouldn't always be thinking about straightening our hair all the time. The reason I bought this hair dryer is mainly to straighten it, yes, but just before we braid it, because it makes it just easier, especially in these cold climates. But one should also be careful not to over straighten hair, because it can be harmful to your hair strands. Apparently, we evolved and we came up with natural defense mechanisms to help us to beat things like ultraviolet sun rays, the very strong sun rays in Africa, and also our melanin is also part of it.
You got to be proud of your crown. Your fuzzy hair is a crown. It is a protective crown. You know what? Let me tell you this. It is a physiological adaptation but living in Africa, thousands of years that your ancestors have lived in Africa, right? That tight coil is caused by disulfide bridges, and the hair itself is actually very fragile, right? But coiling and then making it to be voluminous and protecting your hair, your head, and your scalp, so it doesn't fry in the African heat.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yes.
Let me show you the coiling thing. Hold on, let me go find something.
Okay, well.
Yeah. So see this ribbon like this. You see ya? See ya?
Yeah.
You see?
See
See how
how-
long it is? And then, so think about your hair scalp itself. I mean, your hair strand, how it's super coiled. And it can even coil on top of itself like that. And it gets really tight. That's why they say it's super coiled. It is a crown that is protecting your scalp and your head, your brain from UV radiation. Yeah? Appreciate it. Be proud of it.
I am.
You got natural protection. Carry it with style. Carry it with grace that you are.
Oh, okay.
Be grateful and we should be happy when we have good African hair. Try and keep our hair natural as much as possible. I've been seeing many people have actually come up with new recipes or new ingredients for preparing hair moisturizer and hair straightening formulas which use natural products such as moringa. I saw somebody who mixed moringa and palm oil together and just a little bit of water. Then they put it on their hair and apparently it straightens your hair. And apart from straightening, it strengthens your hair and softens it. And they say that you can either use red palm oil or you can use coconut oil and things like that. Our grooming and our beauty is also important. And this is something that I'm not going to stop doing just because I've come to the UK. Yeah. The hairstyle that I had on had overstayed itself way too long. It had really overstayed. But you see what happened? Unfortunately, when I came a little bit too early, then I couldn't, my head was all over the place, basically. It was difficult for me to basically adapt. But I've adapted now, guys. My head is in a good place. And I remembered that by grooming, by looking after myself, by caring for my body, by caring for me, that would help me go back to being in a good place. Regardless of what's happening around everywhere, there's a lot of negative news in the media. Isn't there, guys? There's a lot of negative news and it can make you feel very down. Yeah, and nobody is immune to that. Yeah, all of us can be affected. All of us can be affected, guys. When you hear negative news, you're always hearing negative, bad news. Of course, it can affect us. It can make us feel bad. It can, make us feel down. But what I want to encourage my viewers and my subscribers and the people who follow me is let's try and even if it's a fake smile, put a fake smile on your face, guys, until you actually feel it. Because, there's a lot of things going on. Like now, for example, I'm so super disappointed with President Donald Trump. I'm so disappointed with him. And a lot of people are calling what they call MAGA supporters, Make America Great Again supporters. They're calling them all kinds of names. And I think that if I was in America, I may have voted Donald Trump in. Why? Because of all the promises. He made so many promises. And I believe that Americans were tired of seeing this kind of poverty, economic collapse of America, literally all the immigrants coming in. They were showing on the news, they were showing like the borders were opening and people were just flooding into the US without documentation. And if you think about how much it costs Kenyans, to get a visa, to go for the interviews and how many visa denials there are, and then you think that America is just going to open its borders to everybody and they would just, come in. And there was reports, I don't know how true they were, that some of the migrants were stealing from people's compounds. There was a lot of lawlessness in America. And this is, I think, what, really got the Americans, the MAGA guys. Yeah. And me, myself, as a Kenyan, I just wanted less interference. I didn't want interference. You remember when Trump called our countries S-hole countries? Do you remember? And Africans, especially Kenyans, were so mad, so upset. But you see what happened the last time during his presidency. Literally, our countries were thriving. Why? Because America left us alone. And this is what we wanted from the African perspective. We wanted to be left alone. Yeah? And I was hoping for the same thing this time. But this time, unfortunately, not just because I am a direct victim of his policies, although yes, that has influenced it to some extent. But when I look and see that even citizens are being targeted, I think that's just unfair. Green card holders, being targeted, being deported, taken to prisons with a green card, put in prison, even if you're going to be released at some point, guys. This is just unfair. It's unfair, and to me, it just looks illegal. And me, I don't like anything illegal. I don't like things that circumvent the law. I don't like that. I just feel that this is just wrong. So now, guess what has happened? Yeah? All the tariffs, whoo, gone. But what does that mean? That they were actually manipulating the economy. They say that they were trying to reset the economy. But the fact is that there was a representative, a House representative, I believe from Nebraska, who questioned the WTF, World Trade Forum, I think, World Trade Forum representative, questioned him in detail and asked for how long they had been actually planning to get rid of the tariffs. Because it looks to me like this was actually a manipulation of the economy so that a few people could get rich.
Let me explain what happened for those that don't understand the stock market yesterday. The stock market took a big dump, okay? It's way down. So anytime you buy a stock or a bond, you want to buy it as low as you can because you want to ride it as it goes up, okay? The President of the United States, 15 minutes before he officially announced that he was putting a pause on the tariffs, he sent out a message on Truth Social that says, buy now. That's illegal. You can't do that. 90 minutes before, at NASDAQ, there was a massive amount of incoming phone calls, a lot of volume increase. How would those people at NASDAQ know that the President of the United States was going to take off the tariffs? How would they have known that unless the President told him or somebody that the President told them? That's completely, utterly illegal. If you or I had done that, we would be in prison today. That's what he did. He told a bunch of rich people that he was going to take the tariff offs. And when you take off the tariffs, you know what happens? The market thinks there's some certainty, and then it goes back up. So these people basically bought these stocks 90 minutes before. Then he undid the tariffs, put a pause on the tariffs. It went up. They cashed it out. And then what happened today? It went back down a little more. The stock market doesn't like uncertainty. On, off, on, off, on, off. What he did was criminal. And Pam Bondi will do absolutely nothing about it. That's where we are. The President of the United States is messing with people's retirements, with their investments, with their savings that they put away, so he can make a bunch of people rich. There was literally a video of him that day, after it happened, saying, I just made him $1.5 billion. I just made him $500 million. It's on video. I know, it's fake news, it's AI, it's rigged, it's taken out of context. We've all heard it before, okay? You don't need to say it. What he did is a crime, and it should be investigated and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But it's not going to happen, and it's a damn shame that there's two rules of law for this country. But that's where we are. It sucks.
But apparently, now you see, some people actually knew that those tariffs were going to be removed in totality. And what that did was that it shut up the stock market straight away. Now all the stocks that were bought during that period are all going to have a very high value. And now they can sell and make a lot of money. So there are many billionaires who are going to become trillionaires at this rate. Many millionaires will become billionaires, billionaires will become trillionaires. Who knows? You know? People who are earning thousands are going to earn millions now because of this. So it was actually just a strategy to affect the whole world, to literally cause upheaval in world trade, world economy, just to make a few people rich and powerful. I think where our world is going is not a good place, you guys. We should definitely fight against this. And then what is so interesting is to see that we have African presidents who are busy apologizing. I think the Ugandan president was apologizing to Ugandans. He says, anything I did wrong to you, I apologize. I hear that even, I think Ruto is apologizing from Kenya. I'm like, why? What is happening? What is new? Why are you guys apologizing suddenly? I don't really understand. Can you guys explain? You Kenyans, eh? Tomorrow we actually have a live show on Friday, and usually we have a live show talking about Kenya on Mondays, but this time because I think we were not available, I think we're going to do it tomorrow, hopefully Friday night. So I'll let you know in advance if we come on with Susan, yeah? Because I could see that you guys are actually supporting us. But all I can say is, no, the world is not in a good place because people are manipulating the economy. The world leaders who we trust are manipulating the economy. They don't have a strategy for it. You see, a strategy means that you actually sit down, you have a framework, and you look at a 5-year strategy. You look at your strategy in light of what you promised your voters in terms of your mandate for your party, and then you prepare a strategy and you pass it through Congress. But like I was saying in the previous video, and I was rambling on in the previous one, these leaders who are making unilateral decisions and then they just put it on Twitter that, oh, no more tariffs. We've decided no more tariffs. And even his own advisor, WTF advisor, is not even aware. Yeah, or he says that, well, he's not going to reveal the contents of his discussions with the president. Really, guys?
Is this market manipulation?
No.
Why not? If it was a plan, if it was always the plan, how is this not market manipulation?
It's not market manipulation, sir.
Well, then what is it? Because it sure is not a strategy.
We're trying to reset the global trade system.
And
It's offshored all of our factories.
what has that done? How have you achieved any of that? But to enact enormous harm on the American people, which was our concern from the very beginning. Tariffs are a tool. It can be used in the appropriate way to protect U.S. jobs and small businesses. But that's not what this does.
All I can see is a lot of hypocrisy, deceit, deception. Our radars need to be really high strung. We need to be spiritual people. We need to wake up and pray. This morning I woke up and prayed. Why? Because I felt that I needed God to give me a spiritual eye into my life situation, into the world situation, and on behalf of my family and my friends and, just generally the world itself, even people I don't know. So that when I come on this channel, I actually speak sense and I have something important to give out. So what is the lesson of today? Today, what we learned is that the tariffs have been so high that Amazon has been losing business and even planned to relocate. I don't know whether they actually did relocate. They were planning to relocate their business out of the country. I think they were going to go to Mexico, or I don't know where they were going to go. But I also know that there are many other companies that have already relocated their business to China. So actually these tariffs just went to strengthen China. In the meantime, I can see that the markets in Africa are being flooded with Chinese products, Chinese goods. No, but at the same time, also being flooded with Chinese products in Kenya is also not good for local industry. So I hope that our government is also going to be smart, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Let me not ramble on. Thank you so much for your time. It was nice of you to be with me for my unboxing. And see you tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, it's been a pleasure chatting with you guys. I love you guys and I love chatting with you. Thank you for watching my videos. And yeah, join us tomorrow. And if you have a story to tell, you're welcome to contact me. Soon I'm going to be selling merchandise on my platform. And I'm really, really hoping that you're going to support it because I'm going to be supporting a specific charity, which I'm going to tell you about. And once I actually formulate a video for it to introduce that charity and tell you who I'm going to be supporting. And if I support it, I invite you to come and support it with me so that when we sell the merchandise, we give a percentage back to that charity, because I believe that in African tradition, they say, when you're given, you should also give back. Yeah. One hand feeds the other. Yeah. So there's no point of taking without giving back to society. All right, guys, thank you for your time. Take care and toodaloo.